Hi there, everybody. It's Cassie, and welcome to a new video. Happy Friday. This is going to be a new video just talking about my editing process updated. Lately, I've been doing a lot of backlight photos, and I figured I'd show you how I do them. And it's pretty easy once you get the grasp of it. It's just kind of fun for me. They're never really serious blog posts for me, so I figured I'd show you my process. Before I get started, I am wearing Stealthic's hair that was at last month's C88, as well as Sabotage's bodysuit that I believe was also at C88. And then I have some Izzy's on. I think everything I'm wearing, the tears on the eyes itself, and then the tattoo are all Izzy's. Oh, and the lipstick and the freckles and moles. And then the falling tears are from, it's a really old item. I don't really remember the name of it. Let's see. It is KMS animated tears, and then there's also tears inside the eyes. I just figured I'd do kind of like an emo photo today. But I have my win light ready. I edited from Bryn O's Blueniverse like I always do. And these are the colors that I use. I changed it a lot. I didn't want it too overly bright or like super high contrast. That's kind of pretty too. I might go with that instead. You can always kind of just mess around with how you want, but I was hoping to have mostly like light behind. I like this. Yeah. I don't know. I can't decide. I can always edit. Okay, I'm just going to do this. All right, so I am going to take this photo. The animation I'm using is Infinity Poses. I did edit it a little bit though. I'm going to move my hand too. Oh, that's kind of cute like that, but I think it's in my face. Let's check. I can't see behind this. Yeah. Okay, I like that. So let's take this photo right here. I haven't decided if I want it upright or not yet. And then we're going to go into Photoshop. This down here is my video part, so just ignore that because that's what's recording right now. And here we go. Let's see how this pose even looks on here. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Okay, first thing I like to do is crop a little bit. Depends on what you're looking for. I don't need all my hair in the shot, so I'm going to crop just a tiny bit. There we go. Better. And then I'm going to rotate 90 degrees. I like it better sideways. Yeah, I like it sideways. And then I'm going to hit Control J. Control J is always really important whenever you start a photo, just in case you want to edit it. I suggest Control J, but you can also just hit duplicate layer. I can word, guys, I swear. And since I have a blue background, I am going to go with my brush, just a normal soft brush, shrink it down a little bit, and then I'm going to go into soft light. And then I'm just going to paint right there. You can already see it's starting to get on the skin and stuff too, which I like. I like a little highlight. It makes it look a bit more natural. And then I'm going to do it on the other side too. And then let's lower it just a little bit. Kind of do a little more all over. Just so there's like kind of a smooth transition of light that is leaving the background. And once you're happy with how it looks in the background, then I normally like to go in with color dodge and have that very low. Like it's already at 14, so that might be okay. And then again, just kind of go around where you want that light source to come from. I think I'm going to focus mostly of it being on the left-hand side. And a little bit over here. Tiny bit. There we go. Already that's like a huge difference, right? Look at that. Completely changed it, made it a little bit more soft. I like that. Next up, I'm going to go into the burn tool right here. I have it at midtones and 13. It's pretty low. And then I am going to just shade a little bit on the face because when you're lighting, you kind of lose a lot of detail. So it's good to have kind of a darker face sometimes. You don't want it too light. I also like to shade spots that aren't hit by the light too, where shadows would affect. Like on here too. Over here. And then also on these wrinkles. And then I'm going to go into Dodge Tool next, and that's midtones. And then I'm going to highlight a few places again that will need to stand out because you want your eyes to be the first thing going to their face. You don't want it to focus just on the chest right here because it does look a little bit bright compared to everything else. So then I'm also going to shade that a little bit. You don't want that to be your primary focus. At least I don't. I want you to look at my face first. Just keep on burning and dodging until you get the color scheme you're looking for. Always keep your numbers low. You can always add to them. It's kind of harder to take it away. So always keep it low. If you wanted, you can make another layer just to separate these. So if you hate it all, you can just start back over. I like to also dodge spots that have a lot of light in them. Mid-tone dodge or shadow dodge. Sometimes shadow dodge works a little better too to kind of make it disappear a little bit more into that light. And then it doesn't take away from the background because you don't have a lot of shadow in your background. It's all light. Already better, right? And now that we actually have all that part done, we are now going to actually mess with the layers and stuff. So this is the curves, and you can click around using the middle toggle. You can use all three. I prefer the middle. I feel like it's less severe and it's easier to kind of get the colors you want. And I play with it for a good while until I'm happy with it. Like I like this right here. And I'm going to brighten it a bit more. And then I'm going to darken it a little bit more. That's how curves work. You can even add another one if you want. Go as crazy as you want. I don't like to use the coloring one, so let's go back one. There we go. Yeah. Let's lower this as much as I can just so I can restore it. There we go. I don't like how dark this is over here. Like it's like gray. So let's go back down here and I'm going to add a soft multiply, barely even there. And I'll still use the same color, but it'll go a little darker. Multiply is darker than the dodge. It'll shade things instead. And that's what I want. Just steadily. And you can kind of see that there's some splotchy colors here. What I like to do during that is hit Control J and then blur and then go to Gaussian blur, and that smooths it all out. But you don't want your whole body smooth, so this is why you make a layer so you can go back to what you had beneath it and just start erasing. And I don't want it, like I don't care if it's right here. Like I like all this very much. I just didn't like that corner. So that's all I'm getting rid of is everything except for that corner. Already better. I am going to lower it a bit and erase a little tiny bit over there just so it's still kind of naturally transitioned into that blur, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah. It is a little dark over here too. Crap. There. I'm good with that. I like that. Okay. Let's keep going. So I also really like to play with exposure a lot. I don't ever actually touch the exposure button. I like to mess with the offset and the gamma correction, just because I feel like it makes it have like more of a photo style with that contrast, and I think it adds a little bit more edge to it. On top of that, I also like to go to gradient map. Oh, that's so pretty. Looks like an like retro photo, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going all the way down. Like I go into blending options after I turn it black and white and put luminosity on. So let me show you again because I did that kind of fast. You hit gradient map and then it'll be inverted normally. It'll be white black, but you want to open this right here and go to black white. And then you go into blending options, click this drop down and hit luminosity. And if you want, you can change it how you'd like. I just like a lot on it. And it just gives it a bit more of a shadowed look. See the before and after. It just gives a bit more detail and adds a little bit more realism in my opinion. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm just showing you guys how I do this myself. Doing a bit more dodging and burning, like a little bit on my lip. Oftentimes I also give myself a chin dimple. Maybe a little bit of forehead wrinkle. Makes sense to have one if you're furrowing your brows, right? And maybe a little bit over here. Okay, we have this done now. What do we want to do next? Is that a tear right there, or is it just an awkward line? Kind of disappeared, huh? I did have stronger tears there. I'm going to show you guys how to make tears too. So we're going to go into Dodge Tool, and we are going to go into Midtone and bring it kind of high. And we want it as small as possible. And it looks really bad right now. Let's step backwards. So we're going to lower it a little bit. I lied. And really quick one. And I know it doesn't look that great right now. Just keep waiting. Wait, be patient with me. You want to have a few different layers of the lighting on it. And then we are going to go to smudge. Let's go in a little bit more. Okay. Sorry for my silence, guys. I just kind of concentrate when I get to this pot. And I'm also going to try to connect that instead. So I'm using a clone stamp tool. I have it at 95. I don't ever have it at exactly 100. And then this is where the drop should stop. So I'm going to color over that a few times. And then mid-tone. Oh, come on. Just to actually have a stopping spot for that tear. So it bugs me when I see an incomplete tear. If you ever hit, I always use the brackets to make my brush larger and smaller. And there's just times where I'll hit the P instead and it'll bring it on over to the pen tool instead. It's like a pet peeve of mine. Peeve. Okay. I'm also going to make this bodysuit a little bit more saturated because I kind of lost a lot of color when I did this. It's an ombre normally. There we go. Better. Add it all around a little bit. And I'm going to make this a little lighter again. Everything's just going to be blue eventually. Okay, so we have exposure, gradient map, and curves. Now I'm going to add a little bit to the brightness and contrast. And then I think I'm going to do a screen. So you hit this little button down here for a new blank layer, and then blending options, and I'm going to go to screen and bring that down to about like 15. Then I'm going to go to my paint bucket tool and just color it blue, and it kind of blends you into the background. Now, I'm going to flatten these 3 images, so all you have to do is hit Control, click what you want, and then merge layers. Now it's all just one image. Hit Control J again, another time, go down here and hit the mask tool. Once you have this done, you're going to right click it, blending options, then this says RGB. RGB is red, green, blue. So with this, we're going to go with the 3D effect, and normally red and cyan helps with that 3D look. So this is the red right here. If you just unclick the R, it becomes red. If you unclick the green, it becomes green, but then if you also unclick the blue, it becomes cyan. Green and blue make cyan. So if you look at these on their own, there's the red, there's the teal, cyan, and there it is all together. So you don't really see too much right now. So since she's sideways, I don't want to click left and right with this because that would just kind of make her have a weird face. I'm going to click up 1 time, 2 time. Now I'm going to click down 1 time. Then we're going to zoom in and we can see how it looks and if we want to change anything. So what this does is you can see these little highlight lines around it. There's blue on this side, there's red on this side. It gives it more of a 3D effect. You can see it in the eyeballs as well. Sometimes you do want to have it go up and down as well, or left and right. So you can click that way as well. Make sure you just have this clicked right up here because that'll help you move it up and down or wherever you want. So once you get it to how you like, you can have it as 3D or not 3D as you like. I think that looks good. It's pretty subtle this time compared to the last video I did. And then I'm going to just merge them all back together. Hit a new layer. And I'm almost done. So that means I can go to Sharpen. And all that does is just sharpen all the edges, makes it stand out a little bit more. And then I'm going to do noise, add noise. The larger the images, the more noise you want. The smaller the images, the less noise you want. It depends on your preference on how much you want. I normally stick with 9 when it's normal SecondLife size that I put it in, which is image size 3120 by 1836, but most of the time I also resize it at the end to 5000. You can kind of see all that. I am going to add a little bit of contour to her face. With that, you want to use shadow, not mid-tone. Have it kind of low. Maybe a little higher than that. Almost all of my editing is like this, where I just kind of, maybe I'll do this a little different. Add a little bit more to the boobies. And then my last thing is going to my brush and scrolling down, and you can get this free on DeviantArt. It's like a little speckle tool. You can use it for free, but only for personal, not commercial. So I'm not going to sell this or anything so I can use it. You just got to read the TOS of what's allowed with their brushes when you download them. And let's go to screen, and we're going to just paint some blue dots all over. Let's raise it a little bit. We'll go to like 58. Make this a little smaller. It's massive right now. Oh, I don't like that there. Let's close this because I'm not editing this video just yet. Here we go. And there we go. I like these. I feel like it just gives it a little bit more dimension. I think it looks pretty. And yeah, I think I'm done. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions or if I need to explain anything more, let me know and I'll answer you down in the comments. I think that's about it. I'm going to do more tutorials like this in the future as well. So if you have any questions or things you'd like to see, again, let me know in the comments below and that way I can get to it. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate it so much. Feel free to subscribe. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Or feel free to like this video, and again, you don't have to. It's okay to unlike it. Thank you again so much for watching, though. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!